Okay. As far as the injuries go, Michael Dana will not practice today with the calf. McCole Hardman has a heel contusion that he's been battling through. He's not. We're going to sit him down today, and then I think he's going to be okay. But we're just going to rest that thing today. Ronald Jones is sick, so we're going to send him home, get him out of here. Other than that, Harrison Bucker will go ahead and do a little bit today, and we'll just play it by ear with that as we go, and everybody else is practicing. Listen, we look forward to playing the challenge of playing the Bucs. We know they're a heck of a football team, so we're not sure where we're going to play, but we'll wherever we need to go, we'll go. We'll get ourselves ready for that, and when the league announces it, then we'll go ahead and move forward in that direction. So that's. But right now we know nothing. So it could be in Tampa, it could be there. My heart goes out to the people of Tampa. I haven't quite followed and know how much it's hit or going to hit, but from what I heard, it sounds like it's going to be quite a deal. But our hearts and prayers go out to the people there. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
With contingency plans in place for a Tampa scenario, when do you anticipate, or has the league given you any indication on when to anticipate when you'll know?
I think in the next couple of days we'll probably don't know. I know they're talking, so I think within the next couple of days we're pretty definite on that. So,
Andy, have you gotten any indication from the league on what Chris Jones said in that running?
No, I have not. Listen, I'm without being. I mean, it's a good question, but I'm past it and going forward here. Chris and I have talked, so I'm not going to get into that part, but he's pretty honest with me on things, and so I'm good. But we got to move forward. The league's got to do what they do, and they want to tell me, they'll tell me.
Andy, Fletcher can't play on Sunday night. What gives you confidence your new guy will maybe do a better job than the last guy?
Yeah, listen, I mean, I don't know other than his workout out here. I haven't been in a game with him, but he had a good workout yesterday, and you hope that transfers in. He does have some experience, so Dave took a look at that too. So
Andy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 7 carries, no yards. I know that's not what you want. That's not what he wants. So you looked at anything that can just get some improved there.
Yeah, listen, like I said, I can call those at the right time and right situation, and then again, we all have a piece of it. So we block it better, we can run better, we're all taking a responsibility for that. So we got to do better though. That's the bottom line, right? So you're asking the question. We've all got to do better, and we've got to identify the issue and work with it and get it fixed, which we've done. Yeah.
Coach, Orlando was on your injury report with him last week. How much is that maybe hindering him, or is that just a usual bump and bruise? As far as
I think it was bugging him a little bit last week, but listen, like I said, we can all do better, and he's a single-minded guy, man. I mean, he's a pretty focused individual when it comes to this, so he'll keep up his work level that he does and work hard at working to get better, like we're all doing. So
your line as a whole, injuries aside or whatever, how they performed this year, maybe compared to last year, when it's all brand new.
Yeah, well, they know each other and they have better communication up there. I thought Indianapolis had a good scheme there, and we just, we got to take care of business. I'm part of that. So we got to take care of business, do a better job.
Coach, I'm sorry. When you look at Tom Brady, do you see much difference in him than the many times you faced him before?
Oh, he looks pretty good to me. He still can sling it. Very accurate. I always look at things outside the hashes, numbers as you work yourself outside. Still very accurate with that. So there's enough arm down the field. So he's a good football player.
Given all this new on defense for you, have they exceeded your expectations? Is that a fair thing to say so far?
Yeah, listen, we have room to improve. I'm going to start with that. A lot of room to improve. And the guys know that. But I like the effort. I like what they're doing with the scheme, the communication part. I like that. We've had some offenses that'll throw some stuff at you now. So, but we can continue, we got to continue to work to get better. But I like where we're at right now. And I was hoping that we would be in this position, and that's where we are. But we got to keep building. I don't want to, give you the impression that we're where we need to be. We need to keep building it.
What about specifically the pass rush part?
Yeah, so I liked what I've seen so far, Adam. You're asking me these kiss to death questions. So, but I like up to this point. I like what I've seen. We got a great challenge coming up here, and we will every week. I mean, that's just how this league is. So you can't sit on anything. You can't not stop working to improve on anything, and that's important.
Coach, the last time you played this team, obviously was in the Super Bowl, and things didn't turn out well, and you revamped the offensive line. How do you feel like this offensive line will stack up against their defensive front this time around?
Yeah, so they've got a real good defensive front. It's almost the same guys that they had before, and they've got some good additions in there. So it's a great challenge. I'm expecting my guys to rise up to the challenge.
And you mentioned Cole and McKeel. Can you just evaluate what you've seen from them so far through 3 games?
Yeah, I think the heel was affected a little bit this past week. To that point, I thought he was playing fast and running, the stuff he was supposed to run and doing that.
Coach, the last play, obviously trying to get into field goal range, did it work out the way you wanted to? And maybe last week you were talking maybe some execution problems, maybe some things didn't go the way. It seemed like maybe some of the guys were communicating like it didn't go quite the way you wanted.
Yeah, we could have done a better job on that. You hated it to come down to that, but that's where we were, and we can do a better job there.
Did you think about taking a deep shot, John?
Well, listen, I mean that clock was in their favor, and we were trying to turn it over into our favor. So if we could have gotten a touchdown, we would have liked to have done that, but that son of a gun was moving, and at least you want to give yourself a chance, right? In that situation, kicking the football, at least give yourself a chance. So you get yourself there, and then you can make the decisions from there. But we were fighting to get ourselves into that position at all. So,
Couple more guys.
MVS, is he just part of the growing pains, part of the process of getting a guy worked in, or they've been able to take away?
he's done he's actually done a nice job. He had a good game this past game. I thought I liked what I saw, and I liked his attitude and energy towards the game. He down the stretch, he's a real smart kid. So I like the way he approached the game, and then the leadership he showed down the stretch. I thought he had some nice grabs.
Travis went online after the game and kind of said, I need to be better. I need to catch that ball in the end zone. And just generally speaking, how much do you sense the urgency and the frustration from these guys on wanting to right the ship?
Yeah, listen, it's a proud bunch. So nobody likes getting their tail kicked, right? So you got to get in and go, and that's what happens. You lose a game in this thing, and it's tough. It's a tough deal. You better feel it, and so in particular from your leaders, and we all should feel that, even you guys.
You haven't been on the practice field yet since the game, but on top of what you're just talking about there, are you seeing and hearing the right things, what you would like to hear from these guys following a game like that when you guys on the plane?
They're taking accountability, and inevitably I've got to make sure the team's right. That's my responsibility. So it starts right here, and we've all got to do a better job. It starts here. All right.
No.
Go for Clyde.
Clyde,
you just assess the last 3 weeks and then, last week in Indianapolis in particular?
Honestly, I would say preparation and everything was I would say, pretty much close to the same. It's just one of those games, man. It's football, and every day and every game can't always be yours. It's just one of those things that I felt like from the offensive standpoint that we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. From the film that we watched and doing the analysis on ourselves. That's kind of what, as an offensive group, is what we came out and felt.
What about when you dig into the running game aspect of that?
It's something that all 11 have to look at each other and kind of figure out these are the things that we need to do, and these are the things that we need to get done. You can't sit there and pinpoint one thing or the other. It's O-line helps running backs help O-linemen, receivers, and it's all like a trickling down effect. It's not one thing that you can always pinpoint, not just on one play. It was, it's multiple positions and on multiple plays. So it wasn't just one thing that we can always just say, this is what we should have worked on, and this is what we should have got done.
I know when you're going into something, everybody's focused. If you think you're focused, at least you go in. You mentioned there are a number of mistakes across the board at every level, everyone on the team.
Most
Coach just said it. You look back and say, the letdown's real. Like, you come off that big Charger game, you got a big game against the Bucs and Brady. The other side, as you look back on it, you say that maybe we weren't quite as focused and we had a little bit of a letdown, and it's as simple as that.
I've never been the person or even felt like this has been a group to, dang, we should have did this, 3 days ago, or 2 days ago. This person seemed like they were out of focus. Just thinking back, you would say that in the times that you feel like your feet are and the things that you're doing at that time, if you don't feel like you're all in at that time in preparation, then I don't feel like that was those guys, these guys in the room, and that's not how we felt like we prepared the last week. And I know we haven't prepared like that from camp and so forth. So as far as looking back, I've never been a guy or a part of a group that's kind of, I feel like, we did this last week and we didn't do this 2 weeks ago. It wasn't one of those things. We felt like, these are the things on film that we should have pinpointed, and we seen it. And it was like, well, man, we go in this week of practice, pinpoint those things that we need to get done. Each individual group had their things. Each individual person, had their multiple things that they either wrote on their board or in their room. And we're going to go out and we're going to get those things done. And in the midst of that, we execute the plays that's being called.
Clyde, this is a team that you guys have met on the biggest of stages, and both these teams are coming off frustrating losses. So what are you expecting when you see Tom Brady in the Bucs?
Well, honestly, in this standpoint, I could care less about, what they're doing. It's about, our team and what we have going on, the things that we have to overcome in order for us to feel like, we're doing the right things in order for us to be successful. And, like I said, from an offensive standpoint, I can't look at see what Tom Brady's doing because I don't play against him. So I'm not watching his film. But as far as an offensive group doing the things that, we felt like we shot ourselves in the foot on, we go in and pinpoint those things and get those things done this week. So we feel like we can execute what we need to execute, not only from the 2 times that we played them, watching that film, but just some of the hiccups from last week also.
Clyde, when you look back at the game, but then overall, when Patrick Mahomes said after it, you're still continuing to gel as an offense. How would you assess just how you guys are continuing to gel and play as one instead of sometimes where, it didn't look like it looked like there was a disconnect?
Yeah, I mean, you hear the whole season, it's a long season, and then it's week 3, and then we'll be looking back at this depending on how the season goes. Like, man, it seemed like that, it was forever and a year ago, just having this conversation, but it's just one of those things that we will still go back and look at this film and see some of the things that we messed up on, and still watch film and plays and formation of defenses from this game that will help us in the future. So it's just one of those things. You see where you were and then where you can be, and how good that we feel like we are, and how good can we be as far as in the future.
Couple more.
How much are you relishing those opportunities in the past game, and not specifically, how would you evaluate yourself so far?
It was something that multiple times I've always been asked in this situation as far as getting catches and being able to catch the ball. But like I pretty much say, as soon as Coach Reid gives me the opportunity, go run this route, bro. That's what I'm going to do. Go run a route and catch the ball. So just having the opportunities and taking full advantage of those opportunities, not only to show that I can do it, but to gain trust with not only Coach Reid, but also 15 and everybody else on the offense.
Let's do 3 more. Swan, Haley, and Blair.
Clyde, just a technical thing. At LSU and here with the Chiefs, what have you been talking about reaching out at the goal line, like putting the ball out there in harm's way and trying to stretch it across when you're getting in? I'm just curious if you've had different coaching along the way. If they say one thing in college, say something different here with the Chiefs.
Just to just pinpoint one thing. Like I ran an option route on the goal line and got close to the goal line this previous game and could have possibly extended the ball for the opportunity to score, but it's assessing the things around you before the route, assessing the things that's going on, and last minute I saw that middle linebacker. I mean, slicing in as hard as he possibly could for one thing only, for the ball. That's the position on the field. I'm not the prize. It's always the ball. So just that aspect. It wasn't about get the touchdown. It wasn't a do or die situation. It was we can get as close as we can to the goal and then have multiple opportunities to try to get the touchdown. And then as far as like in a situation, if it's piled up on the goal line, ball doesn't lie, but sometimes that camera and angles and everything doesn't always lean out the best way for us individually and or for a group. So sticking out the ball unless I see that it's an opportunity for us and no other, that's the only way that I would do it.
It's left up to you. There isn't like a hard and fast. Don't ever do this.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's based off your judgment, and then at that point, you kind of hopefully the football guys on your side, and it's all leaning the right way.
There was a muff punt early in the game on Sunday. What do you do as a teammate to help Sky Moore keep his head in the game? And
man, that's it's football, and the only thing you can do is encourage the next guy. And everybody gets put in situations where you feel like at that point all eyes on you, and then the next guy might be like, man, it's all good, pick your head up, and you're like, well, you're not in that situation. So it's really being in that situation and knowing like, man, I can't do anything to honestly make you feel better, but the only thing I can do is show you that all your guys are right here with you, man. And we've been through hell and back, from the things that we've been through in St. Joseph, and not only that, it's just like a guy being so young and just having that experience, and then that's happening, and it's so early in the season, and then it's just like it just feels like everything's coming down on you, and not to pinpoint bad things, but I even had a fumble and ended up losing us a game against the Ravens last year. It's something that everybody be like, it's a team match, but everybody lost the game, but I will always say that I feel like that was on me, and that's just what it is. But you try to get that individual person out of that headspace and let them know, we got your back no matter what. It was early in the game, and as far as teammates, we did everything that we felt like we could to possibly win a game, but it just didn't pan out that way.
Clyde, it's kind of what Blair was saying, but Coach Reid said that you guys are a very accountable group. And then right after the loss, it seemed like you guys took to social media really quickly and said, this is on us. We're going to take care of this. Is that an advantage as a team that you guys are so aware of that and so quickly turning things around?
Yeah, I would say it is. Being aware on the team, but not only socially aware of the things that's going on around you. It's not. It wasn't happy-go-lucky time. For us. On the way back, and that's how it felt on the bus, and obviously it wasn't going to feel good landing in KC, knowing just how much we mean to not only the city, but everybody around us. So just trying to take full advantage of the opportunities, and for us, we feel like we only get a guaranteed 17 opportunities to kind of make everybody happy and keep that rolling. So being able to do that plus some is always the advantage and the thing that we feel like we need to take advantage of.
Thanks, Clyde.
Thank y'all.
play. We got a major historic hurricane going down on Tampa, and you guys don't know if you're gonna be on turf or if you're gonna be in another field. Do you let any of that affect your own?
I don't think you can. It's for us. It's a away game regardless. So you're going to be going somewhere to play. So you just kind of focus on the game plan and try to prepare yourself that way. And I mean, obviously, I want to send thoughts and prayers to everybody in the Florida area, and hopefully they got out of there. And if not, that they're bunkered down and safe.
How much does your mindset change though? Because you would have been playing outdoors, but it looks like, given some of the options, it might be in the dome. Does your preparation change if you know you're going to a dome as opposed to playing outdoors?
It doesn't for me. You have to go out there and execute the game plan. I mean, obviously, weather would be one thing that you could kind of think about and stuff like that. But I mean, it looks like if we are in Tampa, it's going to be sunny anyway. So I mean, it'd be just us going out there and playing the game, regardless if we're indoors or out.
Last time you played Tampa, obviously it didn't turn out well. What have you seen this year with their team, their defense, that even against Green Bay last week, that is a big challenge for you this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, they're one of, if not the best defense in football. I mean, they have a great coach, a defensive coach, with Coach Bowles, who's done it for a long time and been really good everywhere he's been. And they have great players on every phase, every linebackers, D-line, secondary, and they've played together for a while. So they're going to try to confuse you, give you different looks, but they're going to fly around and make plays. So it's about us executing, getting the ball in my hand, and letting these other guys make plays.
Patrick, what's been your focus over the past couple of days just since Indianapolis?
Yeah, just trying to learn from the tape, see where I can be better at, where I can work the pocket better, where I get the ball in my hands, like make plays. Obviously, I helped it a little bit too long that game. Their defensive line was able to get to me with me holding the football. So just trying to be better at getting the ball out of my hands and finding the open guy.
You continue to talk about gelling as a unit. You know, after the third week, I know it seemed like it started out so great in Arizona, but you had the result in Indianapolis. Do you feel that gelling just needs something where it's like, all right, working on the practice field, or something where you just feel like it's still work in progress?
Yeah, you got to continue to get better. If you look back at the tape, it seemed like there was just one person on every play that wasn't in the perfect spot. And I mean, in this league, everybody has to be on the same page. I have to make the right reads whenever it's my job to make the read. The offensive line has to block as a unit. The receiver has to run routes off of each other. And I think if you can get that all together, that's when you can have those big days like we did the first week. And obviously, when you don't, you have weeks like we did this last week.
Patrick, on the final play, when you're trying to get into the field goal range, a couple questions. You looked like a couple of your receivers were maybe talking afterwards, like maybe something went wrong. Did that play get executed right, and Indy just did a great job defending it, or did maybe something not go the way it was designed to go?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't get executed right because there was an interception, but I mean, it's tough windows. You got to make a throw there. I try to find the best league guy, try to give him the ball so we can get down and get a timeout and get a chance for a field goal. And they made a good job of tipping the pass, and they got up there and made an interception. So it was obviously we didn't happen the way we wanted to, but we tried to give ourselves a chance to get that field goal.
And I know you had the fake field goal, and you had a backup kicker in, and there's a lot going on. Is there, any thought when you're talking about going out there and you got a limited window that, like, if you get a shot, take it, because we're having some problems here on special teams today?
Not in the first instance. I mean, obviously, we were in range for a Hail Mary if we needed, if it was an incompletion. So we were trying to get as many yards as we can and get down, get a time. We had timeouts to get a chance for a field goal. Because I mean, we don't trust with whoever's there at the kicking position. So if he would have got a chance to kick it, we were going to give him a chance to kick it. And so for us, we just continue to go out there and execute and not put ourselves in that position where it's such a do or die kind of scenario.
Patrick, on the other side of the ball, Tom Brady's still doing it at this age. It seems like we ask this question every year, but now you're about to face him again. Just how much admiration do you have for him just going up against him and competing? Yeah,
I mean, it's special to see the things that he's done in this league. I mean, the way he's able to change the position, the longevity of great success. I mean, that's the crazy part. I mean, if you look at his career, there's never been really a down year. He's always been great and had a great season and found ways to get even better. And he's done stuff off the field that hasn't impacted him on the field, but still made his legacy even greater. So it's always a great opportunity for me and our team to go up against a great quarterback and really see where your team is at.
Revenge for the golf?
Say it one more time?
Revenge for the golf?
Oh yeah. You got me in the golf, man. But yeah, it'll be a big game for us, and we've got a lot of games, and he's won kind of the bigger one. So it'll be a big game for me to got to go up there and try to find a way to just win as a team.
Patrick, you're a long way from 45 years old. But can you, from 27, can you imagine playing? 45.
Yeah.
45?
Yeah, I want to play as long as I can play, and I can still have a chance to help the team get better. Obviously, it's hard to play until you're 45 years old, and I don't want to be out there just hanging on. And I think you see what Tom is. He's still playing at a very high level, and I think that's why it's hard for him to kind of give it up. When you're playing at a high level, you don't want to leave it. And so for me, I'm gonna try to keep my body in the best shape possible. And as long as I can play and I can play at a high level, I'll be out there.
Darren mentioned the Super Bowl. In that game, the offensive line was down to like backups of backups. Shaq Barrett said this morning that he doesn't see much difference. He still feels like they can dominate. How much more comfortable do you feel maybe behind this offensive line than maybe that one, which had a lot of backups?
Yeah, I trust those 5 guys that we have out there. I feel like we have one of the best offensive lines in the league, and we'll go in there with that mindset.
Patrick, Coach told us before you came up here that McCole has been dealing with the heel injury and it's kind of somewhat limited him. What do you think you're missing without a healthy McCole Hardman over the past 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think, obviously speed. We have guys with speed, but McCole has a different type of speed than most guys out there. And then someone that's been in the offense for a couple of years, so those little nuances that these others are learning, he's kind of learned from watching and getting those reps. But at the same time, you got to just kind of get those other guys up to speed as quickly as possible. And hopefully McCole's heel gets better quickly and we're able to utilize the special skill set that he has.
Couple more guys. It seems like you guys are at your best when you're having fun, right? Like in the past, you had your core group that you knew was going to be there for you. When you look at where guys are at right now, how much time do you think it's going to take to get to that point?
Yeah, we have everything we need right now. It's just about going out there and executing it. And you see it throughout practices, and you see it in at certain points. But I think it's just me continue to build trust with those guys, continue to have confidence to step up and make that throw. And those guys are getting open and making plays whenever their numbers are getting called. So they continue to just get better and better each and every week.
Patrick, in the last couple of days, have you had to talk to Coach Bieniemy about that halftime thing? Do you need to? Is that something that you brought up?
Yeah, we talk every day anyways. That's something we don't even really worry about, and we just continue on and move forward. I have a lot of trust in Coach Bieniemy. He's done a lot of great things for the organization and for this team, and he'll continue to push us forward to be even better.
Clyde mentioned he's trying to earn your trust in the past games. How much of an asset can he be to you guys if you get him going?
Yeah, I think you said at the beginning of this year he's made a lot of plays in the past game, and he has in his career so far. And I think if we continue to evolve, you'll see him get more and more routes, and he'll go out there and make more and more plays.
All right.
Thanks, Patrick.
I'm good. How are you?
You get to face Tom Brady again.
Mm-hmm.
His offense. You won't have the Gronk out there, but can you talk a little bit about the way he's playing this year and the offense around him, the challenge they present?
Always facing against Tom Brady is going to be a competitive game. The guy, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He don't get that title out of nowhere. I feel like the offense is really explosive. They got a good run game, a lot of good receivers surrounding Tom Brady, so it's going to be a good game for sure.
Juan, you guys blitzed a pretty high percentage in Indy. This guy on the back end of the defense, you like seeing that?
Oh, yeah, I love seeing pressure. The ball's coming out quick. Quarterbacks get a little antsy in the pocket, and they start throwing the ball up, and that allows us to make more plays. So I love seeing pressure.
What makes a defensive back a good pass rusher? Is there things about that job that are maybe foreign to a DB, or what goes into a good defensive back?
Some guys don't pressure a lot in the defensive back room, but we also work on that as well. Like we have drills out there that we work on, like dip and lean and maybe bull rushing sometimes, because if you was to bull rush offensive lineman, they wouldn't be expecting that. So we definitely practice that for sure.
A guy like Legarius does a nice job. I know he's lined up kind of close to the ball sometimes, but what do you feel like there's something that makes him a good pass rusher?
The guy's explosive. If you see him, he's getting to the quarterback so fast. Before the quarterback even get his feet set, he's there. The guy, he's fast. He know how to dip and lean, good bend, and that's why he's getting to the quarterback so fast.
How imperative is it when you go up against Tom Brady to make sure that he's comfortable in the pocket?
mean, it's huge. So when a quarterback has guys rushing in his face all the time and he's not comfortable, he see the opposite color, he's trying to find a way to get the ball out, and that gives us opportunities to make the play on the ball. So we want to make him as comfortable as possible.
The big theme of the offseason was team moving on from Tyron. It became you and Justin's Reid, Chris to an extent. Just how I know that it's a week by week thing, but how happy have you been with the progress, the way that you guys have come out of the gate?
I mean, I love it. I mean, Justin's been doing a heck of a job. I feel like at first that I feel like we was gonna have like some hiccups along the road, but I mean, he's been doing a great job with learning the playbook. He's communicating well, playing very physical, and I love it. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Fournette's been their leading rusher. When you look at just some of the weapons Brady has, are they every bit the skill level when you guys faced them in the Super Bowl?
They have just as much talent as they did in the Super Bowl. That defense was super strong. I mean, you had Tom Brady as well on that team, and Fournette that was still carrying the ball very well. So it's going to be a good game, like I said before, and I'm just looking forward to facing a good Tampa Bay team.
You know, when you play them on the biggest stages, is there just more adrenaline when you face a team like this? You know, it's not that they're rivals, but you've met them in the biggest games. So I don't know. I know you get it for every game, but is there just something a little special about it?
I mean, it is just because I don't think we've played them since we lost that game. So, I mean, it's going to be really exciting being able to face a team that you lost to in the past and just try to get a rematch and hopefully we come out a win.
Well, what's so challenging about defending Mike Evans?
I mean, he's a huge target. I mean, he can stretch the field out, throw the ball up, quarterback making good throws. He can go up and get it. And he's just a guy that you got to try to take out the game because he's a game wrecker.
Well, you guys come in the season with, team goals and personal goals. One of your goals was to have an all-pro season. Where are you at, in terms of accomplishment?
See, I'm pretty happy with how I play. I mean, the last play of the game against Indy, I wouldn't take back for anything. I mean, I played what the coaches wanted me to play pretty physical, and it was just a big tight end that made a great play, and the quarterback made a great throw. But I'm proud of how I'm playing, but I'm always looking for a way to increase my play and play a lot better.
Are you watching the Weather Channel?
Not really. I mean, I see things going on, but I know that we could be playing in Tampa. We could be playing in Minnesota. I don't know where we're going to be playing, but Coach, he's already been talking about we can pick up and play in McDonald's parking lot. It don't even matter. So we're ready.
Well, I know that wasn't the result that you guys wanted last week, but you did see big things out of Snead, like Adam mentioned. Nick Bolton has 2 sacks in the game. For the defensive unit, you guys are taking forward progress or making the right steps. What has it been like for you guys after those last couple of days, just knowing that you guys are on track doing the right thing?
I mean, it feels great. I mean, when the defense is making a lot of stops, making big plays in the game, it feels amazing. I mean, the only thing we can do is look forward to just keep climbing each and every week, making those big plays. Like, for example, like I just said something about my play. That's a play that I have to make to help us win. So just guys, when it comes to that time to make a play, just got to make it.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.